Okay, this is going to be an absolutely freestyle video. I'm just going to be all over the place here. I think it's better when I do videos like this anyway. But something that just came up in my mind. We have been in this drug epidemic that we're in for a long time now. I mean, drugs been around for a long time. I can't pinpoint the exact time when all of this got really bad because it's really always been bad. People always been doing drugs that get them strung out and you feel bad and it has all these side effects and stuff. And what I say is, why are we still in March 2022 and we still haven't found some type of medicine or medicines or something that can actually make you feel better without having side effects? Now, if anybody out there is really into this type of stuff and like you really know, I just don't want to hear something that people say just to say it, just to look like or to, and all that stuff. If you really know something that you might have experimented with, or something that you looked into, or somewhere, something to where there are people that are looking into this, because I ask myself, who is really doing this thing? Who is really out there? They make these drugs that you have to get prescribed from a doctor, and they all have side effects to them. They all have some type of side effects. Even the thing that I'm taking right now, I take Suboxone because it's the only thing that keeps me away from getting high. It's the only thing that's keeping me going right now. And I admit that, like, when I don't take this stuff, it's like hell. I have to take it. If I don't take it, then I'm right back to misery, feeling bad because I'm dependent on it again. And it's the only thing I take. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I'm on this one drug. And I sit here and I think, hold on, my coffee's really full. I sit here and I think about things like these all the time, and I wonder if there is any other people that really think about stuff like this, that really think about it, but yet they act on it. It's not that we're just talking about it. Like, I just wonder, is there any really healthy, clear-minded individuals out there that think about the problems that people like me and other people like me experience? You see, me, I'm not in a predicament where I can go into a laboratory and do tests. I'm not in a predicament where I can actually do the things that I'm thinking about, because it seems like I'm a dreamer on here, and I don't want to be a dreamer. I want to be I'm a visionary. I want to be a revolutionary. I want to actually do something, but it's actually, I'm not in the predicament to do it. I'm not in a position to do these things. Like, I can't just call up somebody in that field and go, hey, can I come over and help you work on this new medicine or this new drug that can make people either get out of a situation and then you can get on with your life? Like, there's people that I know that have took depression medications and other medications, and they have took it for months and it got them out of the stupor they were in, and they stopped taking it. They weaned down and they stopped taking it forever. They didn't take it again. Now, I don't know who can do that. I don't know who can do that, because I'm different. If I'm on something and I get addicted to it, or I get strung out on it, or whatever. And see, that's what I don't want to do. I want to be able to maybe take something because of how I am naturally. I would like to take something that's either natural or something that doesn't have the side effects to it. You know, why can't there be something like that? And I'm doing this video because there might just be somebody that is really healthy and has a clear mind and can think rationally out there, and you might be into that stuff, and I might be the person that gives you the spark to actually go do it. You know, because like I said, I'm not in a predicament to do it. It's like the things that I think of, I wish that I could be doing these things so bad. I really do. And I know I sound like a dreamer. I sound like a guy that is just sitting here talking about it. And that's what I am doing. And I feel like an asshole for doing that because there's so many more things that I want to do. There's so much more that I want to do. And I just don't know where to go. I don't know how to go about doing this thing because, like I said, I suffer with chronic things and I go through these ups and downs and these round and rounds. But on the other hand, I have that part of my life. Then I have the part of my life where I actually want to do things like this most of the time. And I can't do it because I don't know somewhere to go that is actually doing what I'm thinking. See, all these other people, they're making these drugs, they're making these prescriptions, and that's all it is. It's something that, yes, it might help, but it's just covering up the problem. It's not helping the problem, or it's covering up the problem and it's giving you bad side effects when you don't have it. See, I want there to be something similar to like a cup of coffee. You know, yeah, you're going to crash a little bit, but it's not going to be where you're strung out on it. You know, it's something like herbs and natural remedies that can help people, but you don't get strung out. And I shouldn't even say coffee. I don't even want to use that as an example, but that's the closest thing that I can kind of refer to is something like coffee that just gets you going. And okay, you have a little bit of crash. You're tired, and then you go to sleep and then it's gone. Or some kind of vitamins or something that you take, and it might make, you know, if you don't eat food with it, it might make your stomach a little achy, but you get over it. You know, I'm not talking about something that you take and you take it for a while, and then when you get off of it, you're suicidal, you're having complete panic attacks, you can't swallow, you can't breathe right, you're having stomach attacks, your bones are aching, your head's hurting, your skin's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. See, this is what I'm not for. And it's really hard to talk about this because people take it the wrong way. But if there was something similar to, because I'm a downer type of guy. I like taking things that relax me and calm me down. That's why I did heroin. That's why I did dope, because it took away this thing that goes on with me. It stopped that. It stopped me from worrying about everything. It made me comfortable around people. I didn't have to worry about all that stuff. I wasn't getting the panic attacks and all these other things. And that's why I took it. And I just wonder, why can't there be something similar to heroin, but it doesn't get you totally obliterated? It doesn't get you absolutely high and overdosing to where people are dying and all that stuff. Why can't there be something like that? And the thing that I take, it's very similar to that, but there's side effects to this. There's a lot of side effects. When I don't take it, Like right now, I'm about to take a piece right now as soon as I get off this video, because I'm starting to feel a little bit of the withdrawal symptoms. You know, my head's feeling a little weird. I'm feeling very edgy. There's all this stuff going through my mind. Um, um, I just feel desperate. I feel like there's something that's not there to calm me down or to make me relax in my thoughts. It's like I'm continually thinking, and I don't feel right. I just don't feel right. You know, it's a lot of things. I could sit here and tell you all the symptoms, but that's a waste of time. But yeah, if I could go back before I got so much older, I would have probably did this thing completely different than what I did. Now, I know I can't go back. I know I can't go back in time. I can't do anything about it now. But if there's somebody younger watching this, if there's somebody that is in their youth and they're healthy and they have a clear mind and they're just sitting around doing nothing, my goodness, get some kind of something you're passionate for as a person, as an individual. You know, like something that can maybe help mankind out, or something that can help the individual person. Because I know you can't help mankind as a whole, just like I said in the last video. You know, and as I'm doing this video, like my head is like, it's like, it just doesn't feel right. And I know if I felt better physically, if I had my full health right now, I would be making moves. I would be doing something. And I still could do something, but you know, if you're someone like me that has chronic issues, it's not that easy. It is not that easy. It's really not that easy. And you know, besides me sitting here feeling sorry for myself, and look, I don't really have anything against people feeling sorry for themselves, because sometimes you have to do that to get over your problems. But just don't take it to the extreme. You know, that's all I ever say for myself, is don't take it to the extreme. And it has nothing to do with the video from yesterday about apologizing. That's two totally different things. Because sometimes, yes, I do. I have to feel sorry for myself. I have to sit there and reflect on myself and say, man, this really sucks. And I feel horrible, because I do. I do pretty much most of the time. I just don't tell you on here that I do. And there's a lot of you, man. You're healthy, and I'm telling you, you're taking that shit for granted. You're taking that shit for granted. And I know that me having these problems, it taught me something. Suffering and pain teaches you something. It teaches you things. And it makes you see what you didn't before. And a lot of you probably haven't went through really bad suffering or pain or misery or something. And us that went through that really, really bad, and there's a difference between if you have chronic issues and you're healthy and you go through this stuff. When I was healthy, it was way easier to go through these things. It was like nothing, really. And you just don't realize, if I could just get healthy again, oh my goodness, I could do some things in my life. I could actually do something while I'm here. And those of you that are healthy, see, I'm not for full-blown suffering, but you learn something from when you go through certain things. And here it goes again. I'm not for it, and I'm not against it. You see, it's always going to be a contradiction there all the time. I can't escape that. And I'm rushing here. And the ones that are healthy, you're going to think differently than someone like me that has went through chronic issues for about 17, 18 years now. And then people that are really sick, they know things that I don't know that I could learn from them. And as bad as it is, as horrible as it is for that to be happening to a person, you can learn from these people something while you're young, or while you're in your youth, or while you're still healthy in life, that you can at least help some of the suffering and pain of other people before they might go through that for themselves. You understand? And if I would go back, I wouldn't have wasted so much damn time. I wasted so much time in my life. And that's where I feel sorry for myself, because I didn't do more. I just sat around thinking about myself and thinking about my problems, my mental things going on, and just lame, petty, selfish things that didn't do anything. Like I know we're all selfish, but I could have did so much more than what I did. And I'm not talking about forcing myself. I'm talking about things that I really maybe wanted to do, but I couldn't stop getting high at that time. I couldn't stop shooting up dope. I had to get that next fix because of the things that led me to do that. And see, this is why I'm doing this video, because I'm wondering where someone like me, how that happens and where it all goes wrong, and how you kind of lose the zeal for certain things in life, and yet you learn some things. It's very hard to describe what I mean here. But it's like this life is like a time ball. It's like we only have some time to do what we need to do here. And then that's it forever. But I like it's really hard. I am not against drugs. I'm not against drugs. I think, now I know this might sound crazy, but I think that they should legalize all drugs. If people want to do whatever they want to do, let them do that and give it to them, so they don't have to go out and steal, so they don't have to go out and rob, so they don't have to go out and kill, so they don't have to go out and do all these criminal activities that they do when they can't get what they want to do in the first place. Now, when the time comes, then you say, okay, if you want to get off of this thing, then there's a place that you go to do it when you want to get off of it. But I think there should be clinics where they hand it out to people that are doing it, because they're going to do it anyway. And it's just causing all of these problems in our society and within our families and everything else. We're stealing from our own families. We're going out and shoplifting. We're robbing. We're hurting and killing other people for this. It's like, just give it to people that are doing it. They're going to do it anyway. So why not stop all of that and just let them do it? See, everybody, they will think completely different from this, but that will stop so much of this. There won't have to be all these military police. If they would do this, the cartels and stuff, they couldn't do what they do. The cartels would end because of this, because nobody would be buying it anymore. Nobody would be buying any products anymore. You know what I'm saying? There wouldn't be so much crime. There wouldn't be so much misery. There wouldn't have to be so many cops. I'm just kind of like one of these people, like, why don't you just give people what they want and they'll go away? Kind of like the movie, the one movie that I think Steven Spielberg made with the one guy that he comes to the town and he's like, give me what I want and I'll go away. Give me what I want and I'll go away. But the people are too prideful. He wants to take a couple children so that he can raise them up and make them their own. But the parents don't want to let them go because they think, oh, these are my kids. No, the kids are their own thing and they should be able to do whatever they want to do for themselves. But see, people, you would have to watch, you would have to actually watch the movie and you would actually have to really understand what I mean to get this, because I know some of you might have kids and you're like, no, they're my kids. These are my kids and you're not going to do nothing with them. But this guy wanted to teach the kids something and wanted to make their lives better in the story. You know what I mean? And it's like, why not? They have their own life to live. So let them go off and be happy. Let them live their life. Let them do what they have to do. Why stop it? Why put a damper on it? Why hold it down? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand that movie. What is that movie called? If anybody knows what that movie's called, write it in the description so that you can go watch it. It's a really decent movie. It's by Steven Spielberg. I know some of you know what I mean. He goes, give me what I want and I'll go away. Give me what I want and I'll go away. I forget what it's called. See, I can't remember simple things like this. See, this is where I would need something to help me do things like this, because my cognitive, there's something there. I can't remember names and places and people a lot of the times. But then I can sit here and talk about everything. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's basically it for this. But I just don't understand why there can't be something that can actually help and it doesn't have so many of these damn side effects to it. And why we just don't allow people that are already doing these things to themselves. It's what they want to do, so let them do it. Why, like I said, why put a damper on it? Why restrict it? This is something that Osho said too. He said there was this one place where that one person took a piss, and before that, nobody was pissing there. No one was taking pisses in this one place. And then someone said something about it, and they put a sign there that said no pissing. And then all of these people started pissing there because they're putting a restriction on it. They're saying you can't do it. Don't do this here. And then us, that's our nature. We do what, it's just like the story in the Bible with the forbidden fruit. You could have all of this fruit, and I'm just using this as an example. You can have all these fruits. You can have all of these different tasty, luscious looking fruits and all these trees and all this stuff. But yet you want to eat the forbidden fruit. You want the one that you know you can't get or it forbids you to have. It's just like saying these people are not going to be, they can't get their drugs. So we're going to put cops there. We're going to put the system there, the law there. You can't do these things or you're going to get fined and it's going to be illegal. Oh, instead of one person pissing somewhere, which isn't going to really hurt much, yes, it will do something to the ground and the grass for a little while. And hopefully there's no bugs or animals there that, get peed on. I hope not. But right when they put the sign up restricting it, then everybody does it. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I'm not saying that things still won't happen, but I don't think it will be as bad. And ain't that what we want? Or do we want it to be worse? Do we want it to be bad? Sometimes I think that we are so hypocritical that we don't want things to get better. I think we want things to stay like they are so we have something to point the finger at and we have something to blame and we have something to keep us busy. That is a sick way of thinking. That is very sick. It's very, very sick. And I can't lie, I have a little bit of that. I can't be a hypocrite. There's things that I don't necessarily like and I judge it maybe, and it kind of keeps me going, but I know that is sick. That is very sick. That is a very sick way to think. Like me, I just say, look, I want to feel better. I want to have something to be content with. And I just want to live as full and the best I can and be as healthy as I can. I'm not worried about what everyone else is doing. It's like there's so many things that I just don't care about anymore. There's no reason to care about them. It's like if each person could just be content and have what they need and have something to live for, then this whole world could be better. But that's not the way that it is now. And we keep doing these things that they're not getting us nowhere. It's just this repeating cycle over and over and over again. And I say, where are the people that are actually attempting to break the circle of lunacy? Where are the people that are actually studying and experimenting with medicines and drugs that actually help people without side effects? Where are the people that are actually saying, listen, why not just give these addicts what they want? If they don't want to stop, then they're not going to stop. Make places for them where they can go to get it so they don't have to steal, they don't have to rob people, they don't have to keep stealing from their families and all this stuff. And if the family can't understand that, then they just can't understand for themselves. They just want you to change. It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with the individual person yet again. And this is where my mind is. This is where my brain and body is with this whole thing. And those who disagree, I really don't think that they're thinking about this, because they haven't been through what I've been through and some others that may watch, or others that understand but they won't speak up about it because they don't have a passion for it. See, if you don't have some type of passion or you never been through this, you're probably not going to think about it because you probably don't care. You know what I mean? It's really hard to describe to people. I can't really describe it, but I do my best to. I get on here and I attempt to at least get my point across, what I'm trying to say here, or what I'm saying here. I'm not trying to say it, I'm just saying it. But just think, so much of that stuff could stop. There would still be little incidences, there would still be little problems, yes. I'm not saying that if somebody just has the ability to drink alcohol all day long, that they're not going to act like a fool and they're not going to do something crazy. That's on that person. They have their own life and their own responsibility. But I think if you would give a lot of these people that are strung out on drugs Give them what they want to do in their lives. They have one life to live. If they want to get off of it and they want to get sober, then they have the ability to go somewhere for that. And if they're still on it, then they have the ability to go to a clinic or somewhere for that, so they don't have to do all of these other bad things. Now, do we want it like that, or do we want it the other way? Do we want it the way where there's cops and there's the cartels and there's crime and corruption and people getting hacked to death over this stuff and people getting shot and people overdosing and all this shit, man? It's so crazy. This world is a crazy place. And I even write about the craziness. The craziness, it keeps me going in a way, but then in a way I can't stand it. See, it's that constant conundrum there. But how can we keep it so that the conundrum and contradiction and irony isn't so much over here or so much over here, that it's in here somewhere, that we can at least lessen it a little bit? So it's just to get everybody actually, thinking rationally when we do and responding how not too many people respond, because look at still what's going on. So that where are these people? Where are people speaking about it or actually doing it? And this is where I feel like a complete hypocrite. I can't stand sitting here talking about it and then I'm not actually doing what I'm talking about with certain things. And I don't know, y'all. Maybe something will happen where I find out what's going on with my health and I get better and this whole thing might change. That is what I am hoping for in my life. And I will say hope in this video because, and even though I know hope is a beggar, I'm just saying, if something like that happens, I never know. I'm 36 years old. Who knows? Anything could happen. I could somehow get hit again with something and it could completely turn me into another type of personality or do something. I could get, you know what I mean? Anything can happen. Like we think that we're stuck in these situations, and yes, I do feel stuck most of the time, but you never know what is going to come up. There has been people that have been to the point of death and have been to where they're like, I can't do this anymore. And I feel like that a lot. And I'm like, I am at the end of my road. I can't go any further here. I can't do anything else. I lost my zeal for so many things, and something can just happen. I don't know. I can't determine what's going to happen 10 minutes, an hour, a day, a week, a month from now.